how not to be a victim of your own mind, right? And now, the more and more I start to realize the limitations that normal human beings have, like people in my family, people around me, my friends, even me myself, I have a lot of limitations. I understand that, and it's come to my awareness that a lot of people are victims of their own mind. Like, kind of ironically, it's common all around the world. A lot of people live in their head. A lot of people like to create things to sort of picture how they feel inside, and that's ultimately what it is. All right. Now, I'm going to quickly introduce you to the scale of consciousness. If you are new to my channel, I talk about this all the time. If you are someone who's been watching, you can get more knowledge about it. But each and every single one of us is at a scale of the consciousness. We're at a certain level, let's call it that, okay? And I'll pop it up whenever, if I popped it up earlier. And each scale, okay, we have our own, there's different worlds we all live in, okay? So if someone's in a scale of fear, okay, they're fearful. If they see a homeless person on the side of the street, they may fear that, one, they may become like that person, or they just might fear that person in general. If someone who's shameful, they might shame that person. They might say he's disgusting, da 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 da. But someone who is, let's do another negative emotion, prideful. Someone who's prideful would look at that homeless person and belittle them, make it known that they're better, that it feeds off their pride. Now, someone who's loving, someone who's peaceful, someone who's in those higher states of consciousness, they look at it as one, that homeless person and them are not separate, that they have unconditional love for that person, and they just understand that it's part of their journey. There's no opinions, there's no assumptions, it just is what it is. And now, if that sounds very unique to you, it's okay. But I want you to start to realize that each and every single person is the same homeless person, but we all had different realities. One of them was shaming, one of them was fearful, one of them was pride, one of them was loving, etc. And so the only way not to be a victim of what goes on in here, because what we created, all our different perceptions on that homeless person was just creating inside our head. We created us belittling. We created that sort of shame. We created that sort of fear. Fear is definitely a big one that a lot of people give into. And instead of living in our head, we understand that it just is what it is. Like I said, with the people who are loving, people who are unconditional, people who are in peace, they just understand that, hey, it is what it is. He's homeless, it's all right, it's part of his journey. And there's no other mental activity. They're just completely present. And ultimately, being present is the factor on how to not be a victim of your mind anymore. It's the ultimate solution, because whenever we are in a mind, we're constantly either overthinking, having anxious thoughts, overwhelmed. There's a lot of things that tend to swirl inside of our body, inside of our mind, and we just give that attention. And so, let's say you are trying to become a more peaceful person, which I believe a lot of people should strive to do. Just understand everything is what it is. Then there is no more mental opinions. There is no mental assumptions. There is no overthinking. There is no stress. There is no anxiety. There is no negative emotion in general. Because if we just accept that in God's world, everything is the way it is because that's how it's supposed to be, then there's no point of us having those bad assumptions. There's no point of us having fear, being stressed out, because we're all taken care of. The same way that homeless person is still alive, God willing, they still live forever, how long they're supposed to live. The same way he's keeping us alive, even though we are in different worlds, quote unquote. He's still taking care of each and every single one of us as long as we surrender to him. And a lot of us are just really used to forgetting about God in those situations. We go back into old patterns, whether it's the prideful ones, whether it's even anger or fear or shame, right? And the only reason why we feel those emotions, the only reason why we have those assumptions and we're actually in that state of consciousness is not because of out there, it's because of within. And that's something you need to focus on. The only reason why we are a fearful person, the only reason why we come up with those thoughts is because we truly feel fear inside. It's only everything we point at, everything we assume, every opinion. It's just a reflection of how we feel inside. All right, and it that's ultimately how you live in this peace. You know, there's no more shame. There is no more negative emotions. Hold on, bro. What's up, y'all? So, I had to move locations because someone decided to sit next to me and he started playing music. Not too loud, but at the same time, I didn't really want to talk in front of him. But, you know, deep down in me, I was like, well, what's so bad of me to talk in front of him? You know, is it really that bad? And so I'm here now. Yeah, back to what I was saying. I believe I was talking about what we feel inside, who we believe we are inside is what will rule our mind. Okay, I want you guys to understand that. When we are a fearful person, okay, when we're in that state of fear, every single thought is going to be plagued with fear, and you might not realize it. It's probably unconscious to you. It's probably just a normal pattern. And only way you can make this, you can bring awareness to what state of consciousness you're in, is just take note of your overall state of mind and take note of your thoughts, feelings, reactions throughout the day. All right. Let's say there's a homeless person on the side of the street. What is your first thought? Oh, I fear one day I'd be like him. This, that, and this. Let's say you're just overall just angry throughout the day. Take note. What makes you angry? You know, take note of the triggers, and then what's it called? Not deconstruct it, but go back onto what really made you mad. Okay, because I want you guys to understand that nothing out there can make you feel anything within. Yes, it can trigger something, but you already felt that emotion within. So let's say someone cuts you off in traffic and you just explode. You're just pissed off. And you're like, man, if it wasn't for this guy, I wouldn't be so mad. When in reality, you're already mad inside for no reason, you know? And decipher it. Look back. Why were you mad? Was it because something you can't control? Was it because of another person said something to you? And that's one thing too. Whenever someone says something about you, says something to you, maybe tries to offend you, understand it's just an illusion. They're throwing up an illusion towards you. And if you bite, if you believe it, then you already believe that thing inside of you. Let's say someone called you skinny and you're trying to get bigger, and you take it offensively. You're like, man, you don't know what you're talking about. I've been working out. You yourself already felt skinny within. You're already ashamed. You're already insecure about it. They just brought it to life. They were just like, oh, is it true? And you bit. You're like, yeah, it's true. Pretty much what you're saying. But then again, if there are times when people say stuff to you and you're just like, what are you talking about? It's just how they feel inside. If they try to belittle you, it's because they belittle themselves all the time. If they try to throw anger, throw shade at you, it's because they're angry at themselves inside. And it's not hard to fully understand. But then again, if we can learn how to not be victims of our own mind, then we can learn to forgive and accept everyone else who are victims of their own mind, because we understand that they're just limited to what they feel inside. So instead of discriminating or whatever, instead of shaming, instead of assuming, instead of just having all these negative assumptions and opinions about other people, we let go of that ego. We let go of that we're better. We let go of that, also the ego of what I've been talking about in my past couple videos. We let go of that. There is no more. Okay, that's what it is. It's the spiritual ego. This spiritual ego kind of makes you, yeah, I'm getting a lot more spiritual. Yeah, I'm learning a lot more things, getting closer to God. So I'm better than you. It's sneaky. That spiritual ego, it's sneaky. It's so you want to be careful. You want to be careful in your journey. And don't get me wrong, you might fall into that trap where you believe that you're better. You believe that you're ahead. Because I was there as well. I believe that I was ahead, so I can talk, not talk bad, but be like, yeah, you're dumb. You don't know what you're talking about. When in reality, you could just be open. The same way you're opening up to these videos, same way you're opening up to all these other videos, people, teachers, about different concepts, different ideas. The same way it can be, even if it sounds stupid, like, let's say they believe that God isn't real. Just instead of trying to throw it into them saying, yeah, God is real, stop. Why are you so dumb? Believe that God is real. You can be an example of who God is. You can be an example of someone who believes in God. And if they're transformed by it, they're transformed by it. If they're not, then they're unfortunately not. It's starting to rain, so I might need to go. I moved again. It started raining, but then it stopped. But I'd rather just not take my chances and go under some shelter so we can finish this video. But as I was saying, I forgot what I was saying actually. And the reason why I want to emphasize to not take things personally, to just really take a step back and just be okay with whatever people say, is because once you are able to forgive and accept and understand other people, that's how you can understand and forgive and accept who you once were, who you are. And so when you have those fearful thoughts, when you have those negative thoughts, instead of getting mad at yourself, instead of shaming yourself, it's an understanding, it's a peace, and you can let go. And now, how to let go of these thoughts, how to transcend these levels of emotion, it's ultimately to surrender. How is your relationship with God? Do you constantly surrender? Are you one-on-one with Him most of the time? Are you one with Him? I believe if you're able to continue to surrender, continue to let go of these emotions, you'll be able to set yourself free, right? And how do you surrender and let go? I'll quickly go over it, all right? Number one, we already kind of covered, bringing awareness to what's triggered, what your unconscious patterns, what state of mind you're in, okay? Becoming aware of that, and then feeling these emotions. Okay, now it's going to sound kind of like counterintuitive. Well, don't I just want to suppress it? Don't I just want to express it? No, you want to be able to feel these emotions. If you feel that anger in your fist, in your body, feel it, allow it to be there. Because once you allow something to be there, you give yourself that power over it. There's no more, it's not controlling you anymore. You're able to just be above it. Not trying to give that ego, but it's like that anger doesn't affect you as much. You're just like, anger's here, it's okay. Allow it to be there. Feel it, all right? And now once you feel it, you want to surrender it to God. Be like, God, I surrender this to you. I choose peace, filling with understanding and accepting who I once was. And just let go of that story, okay? Now once you do that, then sit in that stillness for a couple seconds, a minute, 10 seconds, who knows? It's really starting to come down now, guys. Thank God I moved. But yeah, I believe that's what it's all about. Being able to do that. Oh, 2 cops just flew by. Let go, surrender, be okay with who you once were, accept it. And in the same way you can do it to other people. So it's a constant cycle. It's a constant journey. Okay, you might find out that you throw some shame towards somebody and you're like, oh shoot, I didn't mean that. You could say sorry, forgive yourself, forgive them, or whatever. If they don't forgive you, they don't forgive you. They have their own truth. But yeah, choose peace. Choose peace. I think that's ultimately how everything works. Kind of just yapping now. This train's kind of scaring me. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys had a wonderful day. God bless. I know I kept switching positions, places. And yeah, I'll catch you guys. I'm gonna get a move on before I get poured in. Got some training to do later. God bless.